What's going on, everybody? Something I've never asked myself is, what does 4th of July mean to me? What does 4th of July mean to me? I was an American, born here, raised here, living here. What does it mean to me? So I thought I would go back. So in my younger days, I was always one of the people who questioned everything, questioned authority. And back in my day, we used to have to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance in the classroom. And I remember in 5th grade, I started learning about my heritage, if you will. I started learning about the American Indian blood that runs through my veins. And then I started, thinking on my own, and I'm like, I pledge allegiance to this flag under the United States of America. And then I asked myself, well, I don't pledge to anything, do I? Why am I pledging to something? That feels like a cult. Like that feels like indoctrination. I didn't use that word at the time, obviously. My vocabulary probably never knew that word at the time. But it felt controlling. I pledge allegiance to this flag. To me at that time, it meant I was falling in line with the government. That's where my head, I believe, was at the time. That flag represented the government to me. And that's why I took a stand not to stand. I actually got in trouble and was sent to the principal's office for not standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. And in that office, all I remember is 2 things. I remember saying, ain't America about freedom of choice? And isn't the land that this is built on, weren't the American Indians here first? And that blood is going through my veins. So if I question standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, shouldn't that be my freedom to be allowed to do such? And from that point on, I was allowed to sit during the Pledge of Allegiance. As time went on, you realize that flag stands for more than just the government. That flag stood for the freedom I had not to stand for the flag. I was challenged, and I prevailed because of such freedoms that stand behind that flag. And the people who keep us free, not just the military, but the people who stand up and challenge things. I look back on a lot of the protests that go on these days, and on one hand, I see the old me when it comes to challenging things. I think it's, and as I've grown older, and now in my age, I think it's done in a totally different way than it is today. It was done in a different way than it is today. Today, I feel it's more organized, and, people are paid to do it, and it doesn't have the same authenticity of challenging the establishment, challenging the government, challenging laws and taxes and everything else. So today, as 55 years old, I stand here understanding protests, but I also understand that flag allows you to do that. In other countries, you would not be allowed to state your opinion, to stand up, to not stand up to the flag or stand up to the flag. That is your choice. That's what that flag stands for. Now, I'm never going to be the most patriotic person in the world. I don't have a flag on my house. Just something that's never been in my character of who I am. I'm not one who goes around saying, God bless the USA or any of that kind of stuff. That's just not who I am as a person. But that's the beauty of the flag. That's the beauty of this country, is I get to be who I want to be. I don't have to bow down and worship anything. I can just live free and live happy. I think once you realize that, you have the spirit of America, you have the spirit of that flag in you. If I saw somebody burning the flag, I think I would always say something. I think even my younger self would have said something. I don't think I would have been that extreme, because you're messing with somebody else's property. You're messing with somebody else's beliefs. You're messing with something that's, stands for something for so many. And in essence, it stands for you too, whether you want to stand for it or not. It stands for you. When you're on this soil, when you're living the American dream, that flag allowed me to question anything I want to question. It allowed me also to go from being born into poverty to living how I wish to live, finding a way to do that. I wasn't forced to be held down. My dreams were not stifled. My dreams were not put on hold. My dreams were with whatever I make them to be. That is the American flag. So you don't have to be necessarily an all-out red, white, and blue, holier than thou, kneel to the flag American. You don't have to be that to understand and to respect what that flag stands for. You can be happy. You can be content. You can be driven. You can be whatever you choose to be, because that flag allows you to do so. And as long as you remember that, then you've got the American spirit in you. Keep challenging, keep questioning, keep loving, keep growing, keep expanding your horizons, keep walking that ground, walking that soil. Because that is America. That is the flag. It allows you to be whomever you choose to be. And it's up to you to take the advantages that that flag offers you to make your life exactly what you want it to be. So at the end of the day, it is that flag that protects you. So you don't have to fly it at your house. But I think we all owe a little bit of respect, at least a little bit of respect, to what that flag stands for. Because you don't get that everywhere across the world. And the other beauty about that flag is you can choose to leave it behind and go someplace else. Or you can choose to stay here and live your American dream. And America is that flag. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Enjoy life, enjoy freedom, enjoy your happiness in whichever context you do so. Do so without hurting others without putting anybody in harm's way, and enjoy the weekend.